Okay, we're going to show you how to solve a pH problem now, and this will be one of the simpler pH problems in chemistry where you are given either the concentration of H plus or the concentration of the hydronium ion H3O plus. Now, as far as the math is concerned, those two things are the same. It's just that when you have an H plus ion hook up with water, it makes the hydronium ion. So for all intents and purposes, when you're using this equation, it's pretty much the same thing. Now the equation that we're going to use is pH equals the negative log of the hydrogen ion concentration. And I recommend that you write that down because every time you solve a pH problem, writing down the equation is actually going to cut down the time it takes for you to memorize it, okay? For you to memorize that equation, because every time you solve a problem and you write down the equation first, then you're actually practicing that equation again and again and again, okay? And then you write the next line with the value substituted in. All right, I'm going to show you how to solve this now. Watch the video and I'll see you afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to show you now how to solve a problem that involves pH and logs. So here's the question. It says, what is the pH of a solution that has a hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid concentration of 1 times 10 to the minus 5 molar? Okay, so for a problem like this, what's important to know about hydrochloric acid is that when it dissolves in water, it becomes aqueous and it breaks up into two ions, okay? One H plus and one chlorine. So because of this fact, basically when you look at the concentration of HCl, you're also looking at the concentration of H plus, okay? So the concentration of H plus is also going to be 1 times 10 to the negative 5 molar. Now you may wonder, well, why do we need to know that? Well, in case you hadn't noticed, up here at the top I wrote down the formula, and of course this formula is something that you should probably commit to memory, okay, because this is the kind of thing that teachers are going to expect on tests and quizzes. So it's a good idea to get some practice writing that formula, so you should write it also, even though I've written it at the top. Just the fact that you're writing it trains your hand and trains your mind. All right, and you're going to hear me emphasize that in a lot of videos. So now what we're going to do is we're going to substitute, because if our goal is to find the pH, all we need to do is put this number in here, 1 times 10 to the minus 5, and that's it. So now you can do this in your head, okay? You could do this in your head, but right now I'm just going to show you how to do it on the calculator, okay? So here's my calculator, and I'm going to type in negative, because it's a negative sign, log, and then I'm going to type in 1 times 10 to the negative 5. Now, I get this piece, times 10 to the negative 5, by typing in second function, EE, and then I type in negative 5. Okay, so with that, then I've got everything that I need. I'm just going to close parentheses on that, and then hit the Enter key. And now I find my answer, which is pH of 5. Okay, and that's all there is to it. This problem is relatively simple in that way. You may also notice that up here, you'll notice that the exponent is to the minus 5, and our answer is a pH of 5. And you may wonder, is there a connection? And the answer is yes. Okay, logs are a fancy way of counting exponents, and in this case, since we're doing log base 10, we're counting by tens. Bottom line is that as long as this number here is a 1, all you need to do is look at the exponent, make it positive, and that's the pH. Okay, of course, if this number is anything but 1, like if it was 1.1, if it was 1.2, if it was 2.5, if it was 3.1, okay, any other number, you cannot use this trick. You're going to have to use the calculator to help you figure out what the answer is. Okay, that's all I have to show you for finding the pH of a solution. Okay, you just got done watching an acid-base pH problem, and in this video you saw how to calculate pH from the hydrogen ion concentration. Keep in mind that if the information is given to you as the concentration of H3O+, that is, you'll see like square brackets around the concentration. The square brackets actually stand for concentration. So if you see square brackets that are around H+, or you see square brackets that are around H3O+, that's telling you the concentration of the acid. And the pH is based on a logarithmic scale based on the concentration of acid. Okay? Now the actual equation is pH equals the negative log of the hydrogen ion concentration. And remember, H+, H3O+, same thing when using this equation. Now, as you solve these problems, I recommend that you write down the equation every single time, because if you write down the equation and then in the next line you write the equation with the values substituted in, you're actually training and practicing your brain to remember that equation. So that way you don't have to work as hard when you go to take your quiz or your test. Alright, that's all I have for now. If you need more help with pH or acids and bases, you know where to go.